Why, hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is my Furiosa a Mad Max Saga spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright guys, so like I just said, the housekeeping, this is my Furiosa a Mad Max Saga movie spoiler review. So get out now if you haven't seen the movie yet. It's been out a little bit now. I did mention in a community post that I was going to be late to saying this because I went and saw Beetlejuice the Musical in Chicago for my vacation this spring or this summer. We went Memorial Day weekend as a birthday present to me. I saw Beetlejuice the Musical, loved it, cannot wait for number 2. It's my second most anticipated movie of the year. I know, it's got a little bit of shocker, but I also got this new light, so if you like the light on me, I'm trying to do these new colors and stuff on me. If you can see them, I hope you can. All that stuff out of the way, this is a prequel film, and I'm wondering if it's a good prequel. I want you to comment down below. I'm going to answer my thoughts on it in the end of the video, but this score, before I get into the score and everything, all the other stuff, I typically talk about the score first. Well, let's do that. The score done by Tom Hogenborg, also known as Junkie XL. Tom Hogenborg did the first did the Sonic movies. Love him. He also did, Tom Hogenborg did, I believe he did Thor Ragnarok as well as the Lego movies. Did he do that? No, Mark Mothersbaugh did. Mark Mothersbaugh did Lego movie and Thor Ragnarok. But love this guy. Love the soundtrack from Fury Road and this. They're awesome. So love them both epically. They're both epic soundtracks for this type of this movie genre. So going along from there, before I actually get into the main stuff, there were some weird people in the theater behind me and my friend. In my vlog, we actually said what was going on. There were chapter markers. Like one of the things I'm going to mention next, there are chapter markers. Like 5 chapters in this movie, like a book. Like that's what I love about movies. Not every movie has to have chapter markers. Like some movies have great transitions. Like Star Wars has great transitions, but this had chapter markers. And this guy, like halfway through the film, is like behind me, like, "Oh, there's chapter markers." We're like, "Yeah, dude, what's going on?" And before that, like 20 minutes, 10 or 15, 20 minutes before, he goes, "How did Furiosa escape?" We're like, "Were you asleep?" And then he goes, "Oh, there's chapter markers." We're like, "Yeah, dude. Have you not been paying attention?" No, clearly not, because you were asleep. Anyway, I found that funny. Sometimes I'll fall asleep during movies, but only if I've had a long day, or only if it's like really boring. But other than that, I was awake for this whole damn thing, and I'm like, dude, you're not paying attention. Anyway, so the action in this, the story in this, were really good. I feel bad that this only made $24 million at the box office opening weekend, because it's one of those movies where I like it as a prequel film, and in this genre, I love this genre. My friend Michael, who's been in my vlogs and stuff, he's like, I watched the first Mad Max half asleep, and he didn't really get anything out of it with Mel Gibson. Like, yeah. He watched this one first before going into Fury Road, and I think that really made it a beneficial experience. Like, he came out, I was like, that's going to be better going into Fury Road. I'm like, I totally agree with you. I love Fury Road, and I love this. There were so many things about it, like Immortan Joe, seeing him again, like the characters and the acting in this was like pretty spot on to where I thought Fury Road comes in. Like, you don't even think about Mad Max in this film at all. There's also another part where I heard some reviews like, you don't see Furiosa until an hour into the movie. I'm like, really? That's quite odd. Like, why not? But it's actually not true, because you get like this hour-long backstory. The whole movie's backstory to Fury Road, but it's young Furiosa and her childhood and her living her life. So that was fine with me. And I was like, oh, you know what? That doesn't bother me as much as what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be like this whole story about Dementis, and then like halfway through we get Furiosa. But no, it's Furiosa's story. It's Dementis and Furiosa, but Furiosa's there because it starts with her. Anyway, so I quite like that. Also, my friend noticed, Michael, he noticed that is something going on with Furiosa's face there, like the young Furiosa. It looks like she like digitally did something, like the CGI and the like I said, no, maybe they just found something that got like a really good young girl that looks like Anna Taylor-Joy. Like, cause Anna Taylor-Joy crushes it in this movie. I love her a lot when she does finally appear on screen. But I'm like, nah, I think they just got somebody like he's like, she looks spotty, but there's some spotty CGI element. The one baby guy. One baby war boy, but I didn't quite have a problem with it as I really should have, or any of it. The baby, in my opinion, this is what. By the way, this movie just does it. By the way, this movie just does all in. It just goes all in. Just does it, like my shirt says. But I thought that the CGI, like when I watched Quantumania, when I came out of Quantumania, I thought I had a good time with Quantumania. But in retrospect, I think that Quantumania was really bad CGI. And going into this, or coming out of this, I was like, you know what? That, even though it felt like this movie accepted the CGI for the type of film genre that it was. It wasn't just like, we're going to make MODOK look stupid, and then like it is stupid. But like this baby character actually fit the vibe it was kind of going for. So I don't know, that was just me. And I think Michael agreed with me. So I don't know, that's where I stand. Maybe some of you hated it. And maybe if you have no idea what I'm talking about because you haven't seen the movie, but that's fair. But anyway, there's some spotty CGI, a couple explosions, but I actually quite like this, Fury Road and Furiosa explosions in this dystopian wasteland. It's awesome, but it's one of the things I love the revving cars, and like it's one of those things like Jack Black. It's one of those things like John Wick, like all the car scenes and stuff. Oh, chase scenes are my favorite. In Batman with the Batmobile scene was awesome, and in this, it's no exception. I love these dystopian wasteland, like post-apocalyptic car scene, chase scenes. Oh, it's so good with the revving motorcycles and vehicles. It's so good. Can't get enough of it. And these characters, like I said, the acting, the Dementis, Chris Hemsworth is awesome. This villainous arc throughout the whole thing with him and Furiosa, and then them going to the Citadel with Immortan Joe and Gastown. These towns, these places look awesome. I swear, I was watching this going, have we never been to Gastown before in Fury Road? Because I think they talked about going to Gastown, but they never did. Unless they did, and I'm just dumb. I have to watch that again, because I watched it twice. I watched it like a couple weeks ago, prior to this film coming out, but either I missed something, I don't think that I did, but I totally remember them not going to the green place, because that place was not existent. But things were great. And Immortan Joe's back, they went to the Citadel, that place looked awesome, and the whole scenes, by the way, that guy, that was Scrotus, I believe his name was, who is the son of Immortan Joe, looked an awful lot like, if you remember the Beavis and Butthead thing they did before Fall Guy came out, looks a lot like him. I don't know who the dude was. Looked him up. It was actually the guy who played Scrotus in the movie was the guy who played Stryker in X-Men Days of Future Past. I mean, that was cool. I'm glad he got an acting gig in this. So it was quite cool. You got to see the sons of Immortan Joe. You got to see Immortan Joe. You didn't see the baby with the beard. I don't think he was born yet. So that was neat. That was not surprising to see him in this film. I'm trying to remember. The War Boys were back. I was glad to see the War Boys. They go Witness Me, and there was this whole Citadel breakout or little fight. Everything. I loved all the transitions. I found it. I was happy to see, pleasantly surprised to see that George Miller, one of the things he did is that he took, the bright day action set pieces with the vehicles and all that, but he took some of the nighttime shots that he took from Fury Road and incorporated them in this one. I don't know his shooting style, like camera shooting style from the original 3. I don't ever intend to see the original 3 unless people tell me, go watch Road Warrior, go watch Road Warrior. But anyway, this one was better, or not better. I mean, but using the night shots from Fury Road were great to see. So I really like that. Like I said, the story is mostly Furiosa. So like I want to talk about spoilers. The one, my favorite scene of this movie, or one of, because I loved all the action. But before I get to the finale talking, I loved, like I said, the whole origin, like first hour, was awesome to see her young. Not just because I like seeing young girls like development, but her story with her mom was cool to see her relationship with her, that story, like that relationship, dialogue, chemistry with her and her mom, and Dementis bringing her in as an evil character, and then them in the green place, and then her growing up. The whole thing was great. Point was, him seeing her, then getting kidnapped by Immortan Joe, or him like taking her in, and seeing all the wives, seeing those girls being brought up with Immortan Joe, like impregnating them, or getting them pregnant. And I was like, man, there they are. There they are. That's the upbringing of the girls. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is great storytelling. 9 years later, like, it wasn't like needed, but it's still really good, and I quite like that. So I don't know. That's just me and how I feel about seeing those wives back, because I thought they were great characters. I thought they were really good looking in the original. I think they're great looking. But anyway, seeing them brought up here in this film was great, and I loved it. And I'm a big fan. This look is amazing. I love how they make Furiosa look after the time jump, and in general in this film. It's just all these characters in this dystopian wasteland have great costumes. I would be shocked, guys, shocked beyond belief, if this film doesn't get an Academy Award for best costumes or best outfits. You know, like it would surprise me. I mean, Dune better get best costumes. Like, this movie, like, I love Dune for the costumes, but this movie, I think there's best CGI or best, but this is definitely not getting best CGI. This is getting like best revving, best action or something. I don't know if they have best action, but it has to be best costume. Nominated for. I'm not saying winning, but nominated for. That's just me. Let me know in the comments below if you think that. Anyway, love the action, love the story, love the characters, love the acting, love the arcs, love the villains. Like I said, Dementis brings in Furiosa, and not much else to say. Brings her in. She hates him, and Immortan Joe takes her in. We see the wives, do all that fun stuff. So there's all these action scenes, right? This guy basically is gonna go, or they team up to go take down Dementis, right? And then at the end, this is what I'm comparing this ending to, where Furiosa is gonna kill Dementis. I compare this to Thor: Love and Thunder. If you remember when Thor: Love and Thunder opened up on this like wasteland, dry land, and Gore the God Butcher, who's Christian Bale, by the way. Christian Bale in the Chris Hemsworth movie is walking up, and he's like there in this area. It's a lot like that, right? Where he's with his daughter. Christian Bale's with his daughter, and Chris Hemsworth is talking to Furiosa. Dementis is talking to Furiosa, and it's a lot like that, where it's just this empty desert space. These two people bickering. It's not a final battle, it's a final bicker. And it was so good, where I was like, man, this is awesome. And it's people behind us are going, well, he's probably dead. Like, he just knocked around like, oh gosh, he's probably dead. I'm like, God, can you? Like, I'm not that, like, I don't get that annoyed at movie theaters, but I'm like, dude, I'm trying to watch. Like, yes, I'll comment to my friend, but like, you're just out loud. He's like, oops, he probably died. And he knocks him out. Furiosa like knocks him out various times. But I was like, wow, this bicker moment was awesome. Like, it was one of my it's not my favorite movie. You know, Fury Road's still so good. But it's one of those movies where I'm like, you don't just need like punching, like the car chase scene, like she could have just shot him, and that'd have been it. But it wasn't like a final fist fight or anything like that. It was just a final bicker. And these words that Dementis, Chris Hemsworth's character, kept saying was just such good dialogue that I loved it. As well as the line where he's like, the question is, do you have it in you to make it epic? Like she's like, do you remember me? It was so good line delivery and acting presence from, you know, Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth alone. Dialogue on screen, chemistry on screen. It was amazing. We get, once she kills him, puts the bullet. Did I see this movie? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We think he's dead, like I said. Oh, the guy is like, he's dead, and wipes him out. But wakes up. She drags him along with the chain on the boat. On the car. Sorry, I was thinking towing, and I said boat. On the car vehicle. Takes him and plants the seed that she has from the green place over him. The peach tree is over his dead, like, aging, decrepit body. And the peach tree's there. She grabs the peach off the tree, eats it, and I believe that's how the movie ends. And I gotta tell you, the women, she climbs it, she eats the peach. All the women, all the wives. I say wives. Were they wives or were they daughters? Like, of Immortan Joe walk out, go into the war rig, and put the lit up and that's how the movie ends. And I love that ending. I quite honestly like that ending because I was like, perfect ending. Perfect ending. And then it can go straight into Fury Road. And also, the credits were rolling. I was looking at the cast to see who played Scrotus. And my friend was like, look, they're playing Fury Road. I'm like, oh, of course they are. Of course. And I'm like, oh, that's why Nicholas Hoult shows up in the cast with no name. I'm like, awesome. He's in the credits. So I really like that a lot. I really like the way this film was, like I said, shot. I really liked Fury Road. I think this film was great. I'm not saying it was better than it, but very close. Very close. So I love this a lot. My rating for this film would be an 8.5 out of 10. I think with some slight variation or some slight deteriorations here and there. But other than that, I really enjoyed this. Nothing like as I said, Fall Guy. I loved seeing that in theaters, and it didn't do as well. But I loved seeing that in theaters. I loved seeing Apes in theaters. It was fine. I loved it more than most people did. But it's unfortunately not going to be in my top 10 because of reasons that people are saying. But this was really worth it. Like, I would have seen this day one, and you know why I skipped it. I mentioned it. Why I had plans to, as my vacation, I went to see Beetlejuice the musical in theaters or in theaters in Chicago. But I went like, this is a film where, like, I told my friend afterwards, like, I have a feeling Apes will there's more Apes movies in the franchise. This is probably it. They want to make Mad Max The Wasteland, which is like the Tom Hardy sequel that's follow-up of Fury Road. I don't think that does happen. If it does happen, I'll watch it because I like the franchise. I like this dystopian wasteland. But they didn't set themselves up for failure. But what they did is they didn't market as well as they should have, and it didn't do as well as they wanted it to. So I'm thinking that there's two things here going, which the reason that people don't go to the movies anymore is fake news. I still go. Many people have gone since COVID, so that's fake news. But anyway, guys, this is an 8.5 out of 10 review movie. In my opinion, great action, great story, great characters, great character arcs. I mean, like, Dementos had this great arc throughout, and he didn't die, but he had this great satisfying villainous ending that we all love. That they just didn't die. He just is decrepit with a tree growing over his body, so over his crotch. So that was awesome. It's awesome to see. There's some Spotty CGI, but I think for that, because it might have been like 9.5 if the Spotty CGI wasn't there. But other than that, I love this from start to finish. I would watch this again and again and again at home. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, LegoDude11. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, turn that on for things coming up. Stay tuned. Like I said, May has concluded, and coming up later in the year or summer is Inside Out. Coming up, Inside Out 2. I got Doctor Who finishing up. Got The Boys starting up. The Acolyte starting up. House of the Dragon Season 2 starting up. So lots of good things coming out and finishing that I'll definitely review here on the channel. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at BoFit Master. Instagram links down below. Like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone. Bye.